Hey everybody, and welcome back to another day of Pulsechain news and updates on Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto, and Pulsechain YouTube. 3 different YouTube channels, and of course streaming to over 10,000 subscribers. So a big thank you to everybody there. If you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe button. If you want to get all the latest and greatest on Pulsechain and Hex, then definitely get in there. And of course, we cover pretty much most things on the old Pulsechain. So we'll probably cover something that you're in at some stage or another. Let's have a look who's in the chat house here. We got Lies Beneath. How are you today? Very good, man. It's super sunny outside. Really, really nice weather. And I'm going for my walk day number 67, is it? Something like that. So pretty cool. And of course, Hex, EHEX, PLS, PLSX is center for the win. 100%. That is the golden strategy, Rich Art. And of course, we follow that here on this channel, which is pretty awesome. We got Wookie as well. Wookie thinks let the bull run. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We got Big Kahuna as well. Hey, Superman, good to see you, Big Kahuna. Hexcavator as well. Hello, Hex Token family. Big shout out to Hexcavator. Working hard out there. And, of course, if you want to see some of his cool hard work that he does, it's in the Discord. So join the Discord. The link is in the video description. Joey Torres as well. Hi, all. Good to see you, Joey. We got Robert online as well. Greetings to you also. Scott Jackson, good morning, all. Good to see you, Scott. Adam Chadwick, g'day. I still love that intro, says Adam. Yeah, I do too. I did think about doing a refresh for it, but I do really like it, so that's not bad. We got Maxi KB in house there from Superman Crypto, so big shout out to you as well. All right, let's get into it. Let's find out what's going on. We've got some breaking news, well, relatively breaking news in the last hour or two come out of the US, so we're going to talk about that. Before we do, let's get into it. We've got lots to cover. We'll be doing all the project updates, obviously Fetch Oracle, Liquid Loans, PulseLN, Verify Pulse, and others. There are others we're going to talk about, like Famous, Mintra, and so stay tuned. There's a few more too. So it's a pretty big update today. We're going to get into little market prices as well. We've had some pretty interesting moves on some of those, and yeah, stay tuned. Let's get into it, and let me share my screen first of all. That'd probably be a good start. And let's find that one. Bam. And let's move back into spot here. I'm going to take that angle. How about that? Let's say hello. All right. So the stock market, we're going to kick off with that. Stock market is down, actually decently down too. The Dow Jones down 1.3%. The S&P down 1.37%. The NASDAQ down 1.87%. So you got Dow Jones with all the industrial, the top 30 industrials in it. That is at 33,000. We got S&P 500 at 4,229 and NASDAQ there at 13,059 with all the tech companies in it. The VIX index is up quite a bit. That's the volatility index. That is 12.3%. The dollar is up as well, though. That's at 106.8. So risk off, right? Risk off on the stock market there. We've got the commodities. Let's quick look at those. We got West Texas is up slightly at 89. Brent oil per barrel is up at $91 per barrel, up almost 0.5%. And of course, the OPEC had their meeting, didn't they? Or are going to have their meeting. That's pretty imminent. That was Wednesday. Yeah, so that's coming up on Wednesday. So the OPEC is going to have their meeting. So we'll see what comes out of that. Expecting no change, apparently, despite the oil prices being up there in terms of production. Let's have a quick look at some of the news out there. The demand for labor unexpectedly rose in August. So we had a key economic metric out called the JOLTS report. So the U.S. Labor's Department's latest job openings and labor turnover survey report measured a measure of labor demand, showed job openings in August unexpectedly increasing by 9.6 million. Remember that the Federal Reserve is trying to trade off inflation for employment, but we all know that employment is the last thing to really go. But still, it's the remaining stub in the eye, confounding expectations of 8.8 million, so up to 9.6 million on the job opening. So lots of opportunities in the United States there. We got the signs of a still tight labor market added to fears that the Fed may need to hike again this year, pushing the 10-year Treasury yield and the 30-year Treasury yields to the highest level since 2007. So there's long-term interest rates getting higher and higher in anticipation for a higher for longer rate. So that's the federal funds rate. It's going to be higher. That's the short-term rate. And, of course, the long-term rates are moving higher. U.S. government bond prices, which made inversely to yield, have also been pressured by a surge in the supply of treasuries as the U.S. government stepped up the pace of borrowing amid growing deficits. No surprise there. The fresh surge in the Treasury yields comes even as Atlantic Fed President Raphael Bostic said that there wasn't urgency for the Fed to raise hikes against at least one president there, not in the bullish camp or the so that's kind of cool in the aggressive camp there. So it's neat to see. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to have different economic data coming out ahead of us, of course. We've got inflation coming out as well later on in the month. So we'll keep abreast of that information. All right, that is pretty much it on that. We're going to jump away to the crypto market now. And of course, crypto there, BTC at 27,420. So we have come back down from about 28,500. We're down about $1,000 from that, and of course down 0.44%. But we were down even lower earlier today. We're at 27,250 or something. We're now 27,420 on Bitcoin. So let's have a quick look at the Bitcoin chart. Before we do that, though, we're going to check out ETH there. ETH at 1655. That's down to 30%. Of course, we've got the Ethereum ETFs that launched this week, right? So that will kind of roll out. There's probably going to be about 15 or 16 of those all up. We've probably had about half of those launch at least that I'm aware of. So that's kind of there. We've got a bit of a mixed bag across the board there. As you can see, some of them are just slightly up there. Tron, XRP, Solana, ADA, and that stuff like that. So it's pretty much mixed bag. Bitcoin Cash, though, which was up strongly yesterday, is down 7% to 228. It's probably the big down move there. And Optimism, actually, we've got Optimism down a bit there too. Optimism down 5% at $1.30. And Aave there down 5.5%, $65. What else we got there? BSV, which had a good day in the office yesterday too, down 7%, $36. So the big move is yesterday, down big today. Not surprising, right? Let's jump over to Bitcoin as well. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin here. This is our window of opportunity, remember? So we've got big news coming out of the United States today. And of course, that just came out like an hour or two ago. And that is the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, is out. He's out. And as I understand, this is the first time that's ever happened. He is out. And, there's things I liked about Kevin McCarthy. There's also things I didn't like about him. And so especially around uni party type of behavior. So he was a bit of a mixed bag. But generally, I don't think he was net heading in the right direction. It was nice to see him starve off, but he had made a lot of bad deals to do it. To give us that 45-day extension, remember? So let's see how we get on there. We've still got a window of opportunity is still in play. However, it's extremely volatile. Like it's starting off extremely volatile here. So up October is not guaranteed. Most of the time we've had a very positive October, right? I think there's only been 2 negative Octobers, and most of the time it's always good. I still think we've got a decent window of opportunity in October with obviously the general market and particularly with Pulsechain. Pulsechain got a lot of bullish things coming out in October. So that's pretty much where we're at the moment. So ETFs kicking off there. The market's sort of absorbing that. The next feed meeting is on the 1st of November. You can see on the back end here. But we have had this event happen today. Only about 2 hours ago, Kevin McCarthy out as Speaker of the House. So let's quickly go to Matt Gaetz, the man who made it happen. I'm a big fan of Matt Gaetz. I think he's the real deal, wanting to do real things. However, for us that are in the markets, it's not great news in the short term. Unless they get a quick resolve about appointing a new speaker, then things might get back on the road again. That's just kind of the way it goes. So let's have a look here. We're going to have a quick look at Matt Gaetz. This is split up in 2 little sections. One about Kevin McCarthy out of Speaker House. This only happened about an hour or two, probably about 2 hours ago now. And of course, who's going to be replaced as Speaker there? We'll hear from Matt Gaetz there. You can see the reporters are absolutely insane. The reporters are insane about this. It's been pretty crazy stuff. So let's quickly hear from this one.
That we have a better Speaker of the House than Kevin McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy couldn't keep his word. He made an agreement in January regarding the way Washington would work, and he violated that agreement. We are $33 trillion in debt. We are facing $2.2 trillion annual deficits. We face a de-dollarization globally that will crush Americans, working class Americans. Kevin McCarthy is a feature of the swamp. He has risen to power by collecting special interest money and redistributing that money in exchange for favors. We are breaking the fever now.
Who? Then who?
You said last night that Steve Scalise was a name that you floated to potentially be speaker. Where do things stand right now? If not McCarthy, then who?
Well, you know, the stages of grief, I think, are in progress right now with some of my colleagues. I think there was a stage of denial, and I've certainly experienced a good amount of their anger, and now we appear to be headed toward bargaining. I think the world of Steve Scalise. I think he'd make a phenomenal speaker.
So that was just two of the questions that were asked to him, thrown at him. And of course, the Capitol there is completely crazy with reporters. I mean, it's pretty insane to see some of the scenes there. It's pretty maddening. So, yep, I think it's a good move. Unfortunately for markets, it creates uncertainty. Good for volatility traders. But of course, we'll have to see, hopefully, that they come up with a new speaker very soon. So they've got 45 days, of course, until to get a lot of things done. So around the budget. So we'll see how that goes. So we're going to watch that very closely in the next couple of days. So that's pretty much it on the news there. And of course, the market for Bitcoin at the moment, 27,458. Now, so who's in there? Jumped in there. Adam says apparently the SEC is also SEC's Ripple appeal was just denied too. Yeah, I bet there was a lot of deals done for that, Adam. I bet there was a lot of deals done. I'm very suspect of the courts in the United States at the moment. So yeah, well, that's probably not surprising. So 27,469. That is where we are on Bitcoin. So had one big up day, two big down days. So this big gain that we had, we have how far we got up to 28,600 on that move, and we're currently down from that move. How far we're down? We've lost probably, we've lost down 4% on the Bitcoin. So still holding up pretty reasonable, 27,470. We were watching this today to see how it absorbs the news around the House Speaker there. All right, it doesn't seem to have got too emotional about it at this stage, so maybe fingers crossed for that one. Let's jump over to Pulsechain. Pulsechain at the moment, quadruple 0.452, and of course after yesterday having the big giant whale there, Rack and Rochelle do the big sell that I'm aware of. What is that? 35 billion approximately, and I think 32 billion the first time early on when Pulsechain launched. So arguably, I think the number that they had was over $1 trillion for Pulse. So yeah, it's I think it was Pulse X, which yesterday was it? I can't remember now. But in any case, some significant sales there. So the whale there could drain the liquidity pool. We will see what happens in that space in the months ahead. So we'll keep an eye on that one. At the moment, of course, we are down just 0.75% at the moment on Pulse. And of course, this price here is about just over double, I believe, of the Pulsechain sacrifice price for whales, for the big whales. So they're still in the money, right? So interesting moves there. Interesting move also, they sold it down a certain amount to drain the pool from the last day and a half. But of course, they leave it at that point. So interesting the amount that they sell, and of course, how far they're willing to drop the price, right? So that's pretty interesting information there too. Pulse X at the moment, quadruple 0.116, down 1.9%. And one Pulse at the moment, we get 3.89 Pulse X. So Pulse got slightly stronger out of this day or two, last day or two. And of course, the buy and burn continues to go on regardless of what's happening there. We've got 463.245 there. So 463 billion pretty much is bought and burnt. And that is now 2.24% of the total public supply of PulseX. So that's sticking away very nicely in the background. And SEM tokens there, $1.06 is down 1.4%, and the ratio is now 23,561 Pulse per incentive token. And of course, we're well over 12 million in supply, and of course, 97,692 have been burned the TRH game process there. PHEX there is at 0.0788. So we've gone below 0.8 of a penny, which is a bit of a shame, really. We're at down 4.89% on PHEX, and the EHEX there is at 0.032. So Hex overall has gone down slightly there. We've gone down from what we're about 1.25. We're down slightly down to about 0.11 on the combined price. So still okay, but really want to try and get that breakout at some stage moving forward. What else? I think that's it for the markets. Let's quickly look at the prices. This is the price chart here. Actually, well, I've got 4 hour. Let's go to the daily. That's the daily chart there on Pulse, and nothing's really changed too much. We have bounced off the middle of the Bollinger Bands for Pulse, which was at quadruple 04369. We're currently at quadruple 04516 there. So still intact. We've still got our higher lows. Everything's still intact there, and we've had a little bit of volume increase there, obviously on the sell down. That's pretty much it at the stage. We're going to talk about famous and the margin trading later on, because most of that has been long. In other words, they've been betting the price going up, but it's kind of like, they've been betting the price going up and using all the liquidity to do it. But of course, that whale sell yesterday from Overwatch there, or Rack and Rochelle, is pushed the market down, drained the pool out there, because they're still probably in the money. I think it was, just trying to remember whether it was Pulse or PulseX that they sold down. I'll have to double check that. So let me know in the chat there if you remember. So that is pretty much that's. Let's jump back to PulseX. PulseX on the daily. PulseX, pretty similar story, down to 2 days. So we're up for 4 days, down for 2 days. And on Pulse, we were up for 2 days, down for 2 days there. The NCM token there, let's have a look at the ratio of this one as well. We're going to switch over to the ratio. We're at 91. Yeah, what's the ratio? I'm on PulseX again. I botched up. I'll bring up the wrong chart, so we'll ignore that. We'll move on. We've got Hex to Pulse. Like I say, down 2 days. We pretty much wiped out almost a week on the old Pulse, on the old Hex there in 2 days. Look at that. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of hard work to get back up there, and all wiped out almost in 2 days. So, in fact, if you take the dip there, we pretty much did wipe out 6 days in 2 days. Welcome to crypto, folks, and the volatility. At the moment, we're at 00788 on the old PHEX. So fingers crossed, we're definitely in the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. The Bollinger Bands is tightening. That's a very interesting clue there. So it'll either break out one way or the other. Maybe we had 2 down days and it's going to reverse. We'll see on this. And of course, we've got the RSI is down quite low, 46. Yeah, we'll see how we get on with that. We didn't break support there on the horizontal, which is at 7,500. So we're still above that. So fingers crossed. EHEX at the moment is at 0032. I think we'll leave it that there. Let's quickly look at the RSI on Pulse actually before I move on. Yeah, that's back down here at 55. So still got a nice uptrend. Still slightly intact there on Pulse. So fingers crossed there too. All right, let's jump over to some of the other metrics. We're going to look at values. Values that keep on moving up higher. And of course, we're at 44,247. So we're pretty much at this all-time high level. Look at that. And of course, we've got, Pulsechain, as I say, it is the people's chain. And Pulsechain will be leading the DeFi revolution with more and more protocols launch out there. True DeFi, you don't get actually shut down, right? So unless you're a scam, the market will respond. But apart from that, you are free to reign. Even if people don't like you, you are free to reign on the old Pulsechain. All right, the market will decide. The market will decide, right? But you won't be, turned off. You won't be turned off like Uniswap or Matcha. You're not going to be suddenly turned off there as well. All right, guilty before, we're supposed to be innocent before proven guilty, right? But there's a lot of the evil people in the world, a lot of the bad people. I won't say they're all evil, but there's a lot of bad people in the world that like to now say you're guilty. You're guilty straight away. We'll just say you're guilty. We'll point at you. You're guilty. We won't give you a fair trial. We won't let anything happen like that. We're just going to kick you off. And of course, when good people don't do anything, then bad people get to rule, right? So it's a matter of pushing back there. All right. We've got 1.42 trillion is off the market at the moment, staked in PLS. So that's off the market. I won't go through all the details about that as I normally do, but that is good news. And we've got liquid lines potentially coming down the pipeline. That's going to be great for collateralizing Pulse. At the moment, the beats on Pulsechain are back to what they were about 3 weeks ago. So nice and cheap. If you're doing minting like PZN or anything on Pulsechain, in staking Hex, for example, you got the prices are cheap again. Yay! So take the opportunities while they come, because October is going to be a busy month for Pulsechain. We've got 574,000 beats at the moment, so that's cheap. And that's 8/10 of a penny for a Pulse X swap, 500th of a penny for a Pulse coin transfer, and 2/10 of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. Take that where you can. We're 511 times cheaper than Ethereum, and Ethereum at the moment is relatively cheap, but I think it's going to start rising through October as we move back into the teens if it follows last year's pattern, and I have no reason to think why it wouldn't there. Bitcoin at the moment, 141 times cheaper than Bitcoin at the moment to send as well. So let's quickly jump over to the Ethereum. We can see that Ethereum at the moment, it is starting to get into the teens, but it still has quite a lot of low periods. So especially in the hours ahead of us today, that's typically the cheapest time on the old on Ethereum. And you can see at the moment we're down to 7.48 Gwei on Ethereum. We did have the peak overnight during US time, I guess. We had the peaks there. But this is the last 7 days, by the way. And you can see we have actually had a pretty quiet period at the end of September into October. But I suggest to you that that's all things equal, this should start rising, unless, of course, the markets really don't do much in October. But typically, if it's similar last year, should start to see that Gwei start to rise back into the teens more often. So we'll keep watching that. If we look at the longer time frame, 383 days, you can see that it was quite low last year. And of course, it started rising into October into the teens here. You can see how it got there was a higher low in the Gwei, and we might very well see that again repeat itself. So we'll wait for that. All right, let us jump away from that and let's get into the transactions. I think we're going to transactions. Yeah. Let's quickly go to Pulsechain transactions. So here we are on scan.pulsechain.com, the block scout explorer. And what did I do there? I made it too big. Anyway, so let me refresh this. We've got we've had an increase in the transactions. Look at that. So yesterday on the first, at least on 1st of October, we had 331,000 transactions on the blockchain. Well, on the second, we jumped all the way up to 480,000. So a big jump there. Obviously, we had a lot of that volatility, a bit of a sell-off, but that was a pretty big jump in transactions there. Almost 150,000 more, which is pretty impressive. So that is pretty much it on the chain. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's pretty much the summary of Pulsechain and the Richard Heart Gold and cryptos at the moment. So there we go. We're going to get into all the other categories. Before we do that, though, let's catch up on the chat and see who else has jumped in here. Let's see where we got here. I think we got up to those comments. Richie Robinson, woohoo! Let's go. Absolutely, let's go. Welcome, Richie. We've got Blair SM in the house as well. Hi, all. Good to see you, Blair. Hexcavator as well. Proud to be a resident of Florida. Yeah, that's a great state, that's for sure. Harry Williams, woohoo! Hey, good to see you, Harry. Welcome to chat also. Light Scouts in the house says it was PLXX that got dumped. Yeah, thanks for that. It was PLXX, so thanks for reminding me there. By Racker Michelle there. What else there? Dan Wednesday, 10,000X incoming. I like how you're talking there, Dan. I like how you're talking. All right, let's jump back to it and let's get into the PRC20 categories. We've got it sorted by liquidity. This is my custom list. And PDI there, having a pretty good day overnight, pretty good night, actually. It's pulled back a little bit now, but we'll have a look at PDI. It's up 9%. And of course, PDI has been one of the popular ones that people have been speculating on, getting to the $1. And so we like to follow that narrative because it's going to be fun to see whether it can do it. That would certainly be surprising. But hey, look, this is crypto. We saw Pepe, get valued at some insane thing. So why not? Why not PDI? And of course, we've got the Atropa contract right out there with this mystical euphoria. Let's put it that way. So this is the daily on the PDI or DAI on Pulsechain, and you can see we bounced off yesterday. We bounced off 000689, so it's quite volatile. You can see your portfolio value go up and down pretty dramatically, and that's as long as it's holding up at this level, right? If it decides to do a big red candle, you can see a lot of value wiped off in an instant. But at the moment, we've got 4 minutes left to go on this candle. That's where we are, and let's zoom in a bit here on the line here. So yeah, we're back over. We actually got up as high today at 1,000. So we got to 1/10 of a penny at the top of this move. Let's see if it can get some green candles up to the upside there as well. So we'll be watching for that. All right, that is pretty much it. Obviously, the target there is to breach the all-time high back here, which was almost at 3/10 of a penny. And of course, this yellow line is 1/10 of, this is 1 cent up here. So let's see if it can do it. we'll be watching it so far. Let's see how it goes. All right, that is pretty much that. Let's have a look at some of the other ones. Teddy Bear has done it really well overnight, 33%. Remember, these are more speculative plays. And of course, that's up 2 green candles. Remember how dramatically down it was? So you'd be pretty upset if you bought up here and it was down here, right? But it's starting to rise back up again. So that's kind of good news there for Teddy Bear Atropa. What else? We got the wrap Bitcoin at the moment is at $86. So that's sort of still chilling it up 2%. Treasury bill and Teddy Bear is up 17%. Let's have a quick look at the Treasury bill one there. Yeah, 2 green candles looks pretty similar to the other one. To what does that say? Teddy Bear. Yeah, Treasury bill and Teddy Bear look pretty similar. They are paired together in this pair. What else we got going there? Atropa PLS. Let's have a look at Atropa. And of course, that is Atropa, so down pretty dramatically. Might be a good accumulation zone if you're speculative, got a speculative nature. Obviously, if you're not in speculation, don't keep away from things like this. But if you like a bit of speculation, maybe a little bit, then that's something you can consider at the moment. Apart from that, let's have a look at the 2 big meme coins. SHIB. Let's have a quick look at SHIB. And of course, SHIB here just chilling it at the moment at 1,300. So pretty much that's pretty much probably at the top range of my accumulation zone. It'd be really cool if it got down to like 1,000 or 1,100 because 9-inch decks has come along, and these may prove very popular for that. The other one, of course, is Pepe. Pepe is pretty much flat as well. Pepe also even more friendly because this is pretty much down at the bottom. And if 9-inch comes out, the meme decks, which was $60 million sacrifice to that, this might be a popular one for that there too. So we'll see. That is pretty much it out of those. Let's jump away to the meme categories. That is the sort of medium-sized memes. The big move, of course, is I don't know whether it's technically a meme, so I have to find out a bit more about it. We got this added the other day by somebody that requested it. This is from Access Alive, of course, the influencer who's a TA specialist, and of course he's got this got pumped today. It got pumped pretty serious. Look at that, up 97% at the moment. And yeah. Never buy tops. Never buy tops. Always try and buy the bottoms, right? So remember that. This is 6,863. Got pumped pretty hard and got pumped all the way up here to almost $9,000. And of course, remember the kicker about this. So I don't know the full tokenomics, so just remember that. I haven't really looked at that much, but there's only 6.6 axis in the pool with a billion pulse in there at the moment. But remember that the main contract has a whole ton on it, right? So there is 1 million in axis supply, and all of that is pretty much most of it. 999,684 is sitting in the main wallet, which is probably run by the Axis guy that runs it. Now, I don't know what the tokenomics are, don't know what the plans are. I know that he provides services that people can join, so it's it's all cool. But once again, I don't know much more than that. But the price is definitely pumped. So well done, I guess. All you can say, right? Welcome to crypto. Got lots of rockets here. I might as well add a rocket there because it's rocketed for sure. So that's Axis. Now, 9-inch decks is coming, of course. And 9-inch is obviously the super decks for memes. Where did ETH go? Pulse Dodge and Paul Pleb. They're all pretty much moving sideways there. So they're definitely something to look at. Let's have a quick look at the Pulse Dodge one. It's up 5%. And of course, that hasn't come back. Like if it came back to 3,000, I definitely think that's a trigger buy. But it's still looking pretty good even at this price and holding some value here. So yeah, I do think this might do particularly well, might really shoot off to the right. Paul Pleb, of course, is down 3%. So let's have a look at that one. This is even more attractive in the sense that the price is back more into the range that you might want to accumulate. So looking pretty good there as well. So not bad on that one. So some definitely things that food for thought there. Let's have a look by percentages. Hex Orange Address is up 9%. What else there? Dodge is up 7%. Kind of the leader ones here at the moment. And we'll get to our final category number 4. And of course, Pulsechain projects. That's where we're going to get on to all our updates. Let's look by liquidity first of all. The best performer is TYRH, up 3%. Yay! Go TYRH. Let's have a quick look at that because we haven't looked at that for a while. Obviously, the TYCZ lobby is still open. There's the TYRH. So that's pretty much just moving sideways there, which is kind of cool, consolidated. What else is up there? that's pretty much it by size there. I guess Texan token is doing pretty well, up 15% with 22K liquidity. So that's not too bad for the endowment token. That's Rag to Riches and Crypto Heartbeat. Let's have a look by percentages. C token out of the TRH game is up 32%. We'll have a quick look at that. That's not doing too bad, but just moving sideways there. Just depends relative, right? So it's just off the bottom. Got down to, what's that? $19 up to 37 there. Not much liquidity in it though, $423. So just remember that it's not worth talking about. That's why I always sort by liquidity, because I always get stuck talking about something with slow liquidity. I think that's pretty much it. Holy is up 14%. That's got 3,000. So the TRH seems to have a little bit of a bump there. Seed, Holy, PYRH there. TYRH. Sorry, what did I say? TR. Oh, I can't even say it. Let's forget it. Let's move on. All right, so that's pretty much it. We got Time token there is up 11% from Internet Money. We had good news about that yesterday with the website and the alien theme. I love that. That was out there if you missed that, Time token. And of course, the Pulse Rate there, Prate token. Remember, Pulse Rate is a dual token there with Prate and P-Share. It can have a bond in there as well at times, depending. But that's definitely up a little bit there. Let's have a look at the, Prate's up a little bit there on the percentage. What else there? That's pretty much it. So we're going to move on. Let's get into the project updates. Liquid loans. So the big news, folks, is that Fetch Oracle could be launching. You guys know this is the huge piece of infrastructure for Pulsechain. We need it, and that is a decentralized Oracle. And of course, it's going to have a ability to be an Oracle reporter as well, and they're going to have their own Fetch token. So it's a really big deal there. And Liquid Loans here retweeted this. This is just earlier today. Big Fetch Oracle news coming this week. So it really is happening. And this is going to be important, not just for Liquid Loans, but for a lot of other big protocols coming to Pulsechain. And so that's big news. And we need our own decentralized Oracle. So it's going to be great. Now, Crypto Crazy there, the CEO, says, so by now, most of you should be aware the countdown is on for the Liquid Loans. But first, we must see the Fetch Oracle critical infrastructure. Watch out for my next YouTube video announcement. So that's coming down the line very soon. So we'll try and keep you up to date. Maybe we might have it out by tomorrow. And so good news, a big Fetch Oracle news coming this week. And so that's great, right? So very excited about that. I'll leave a link to the tweet there if you want to go get excited or say something about it. You can check that out. So really big news there coming around the Fetch Oracle. And can't be understated, that Fetch Oracle. But like I say, the person who's I think done the most on that coverage is Gamma, one of the Pulsechain devs. So if you know who Gamma is, you can check that out. If you don't know who that is, jump into our Discord, links in the video description, and we can give you more details there on that. So we will be updating the Discord info as more info comes out. So definitely get in there if you want to check that out. All right, so that is the Fetch Oracle, and of course, if you go to Fetch Oracle here, you can find it direct this under the Fetch Oracle on Twitter there as well. I'll post the link to this as well if you want to follow Fetch Oracle directly. This is the direct following or Twitter X social. So that is it there. Twitter Fetch Oracle. So that's coming. Big news, right? So we've got multiple protocols rolling out in October. These are the big ones, right? These are the big ones. So it's going to be a lot of fun seeing them roll out. All right, so that is pretty much it on that. So we'll keep you abreast as that information comes out. The other big thing that we've had happen is PulseLN. As you guys know, one of our Onramp bridges to Pulsechain, very important utility. And of course, that's awesome. So it's going to be adding, it has added Optimism. So Ethereum second layer Optimism, meaning that the transactions are like super cheap to do. And of course, that's big news, right? So you can see here on the 1st of October, just that it was cheaper than change now, which is pretty cool. They got some images of that, of ETH to Pulse, BNB to Pulse, and BTC to Pulse. And you could use all those there. And the BTC obviously is the Lightning Network, so super cheap there. And you can see it compared to change now, which is another way of getting Pulse, right? So great news there, and nice and cheap. The other thing, of course, is that the big news is that Optimism has been added to the different networks. So not only we have Bitcoin, BNB, but we've also got Ethereum on Optimism there as well. So that might be really useful for some of you that are on Optimism. Certainly opens up a new market, a new batch of users there. A big shout out to Hex is the Way, who retweeted this out. New breakthrough for Pulsechain. Optimism is now available to swap for PLS. It's Pulse, of course, and this is Ethereum on Optimism layer 2, so the fee is almost nothing. Also, the limits are $1,000 per transaction, which is pretty decent for the retail book, and not so great for big large whales, but for the retail book. And I gather that most people on Optimism are probably in the retail book anyway. So that is kind of good news. Remember, it's probably going to be even cheaper in the future if we get proto-dank sharding from Ethereum, right? Because Optimism is going to be one of the beneficiaries there. So that's kind of cool. That he's got Hex is the way I've done a little bit of stuff around about sending ETH on Optimism layer 2 on Coinbase. First get ETH, click send, then click on network and change from ETH to Optimism, then send the ETH to personal EVM address with the OP RPC added, then send to at PulseLN.com. So it's got a nice little method there for that. So really, really cool news around PulseLN, an important bridge onto Pulsechain and from some serious networks like Bitcoin and BNB. So if something you haven't used, definitely something you can consider. Now, we do have the links to PulseLN in the Discord under useful links. We have all the main bridges and all the main on-chain swapping dexes. So if you can't find anything, we've got them all listed in the Discord under useful links. So definitely, if you haven't joined, that's just one good reason to join. So the link is in the video description if you want to join up and, of course, get involved. So really, really cool stuff happening there on that front. So we want multiple bridges on the Pulsechain, right? So that is great news. All right, so that is PulseN. I'm going to post you the link to that if you want to follow up on those as well. But once again, we do have the links in the Discord. Bam, there we go. PulseLN, definitely worth a follow, and the top utility on the Pulsechain there. So it doesn't stop there. Fetch Oracle, it's going to be amazing with the decentralized price calls and non-price calls. Ability to earn money, and of course PulseLN be able to bridge on not just from BNB and Bitcoin, but also Optimism. Awesome stuff. So just the Pulsechains continue to expand its reach and the ability to onboard, between chains and stuff like that. Which the future is a multi-chain world, right? But some chains are going to be worth a lot more than others. Of course, Pulsechain is going to be in the top bag there. All right, so there we are. That is pretty much that. You can see the actual site here. This is PulseLN, the utility. And of course, you can see all you have to do is pick up one of these, and you can find that you got DAI on Optimism there as well. But you also got Ethereum there on Optimism. Isn't that cool? So cool stuff there. You got Bitcoin on the Lightning Network, BNB, of course, BSC. So it's got some really cool options there as well. So that is the DApp, and of course, you can find that in the Discord under useful links. What else? Let's jump over to VerifyPulse. Now, VerifyPulse was a site utility on Pulsechain where you could check contracts and say, get a bit of information about how secure they were, how safe they were from certain point of views. And of course, unfortunately, they went down. They went temporarily unavailable on the 30th of September. So they've been down for a few days. The contract analysis is temporarily unavailable as we upgrade our servers to accommodate the surge in incoming requests. So they've been getting a lot of volume on that. That's great news, right? We understand the importance of this tool for our users, and we're working diligently to have the analysis back online as soon as possible. So that was on the 30th, but since that time, they have got that back up to date. So 9 hours ago, update VerifyPulse.com. Contract analysis is back online. Thank you for your patience during our upgrades. We're excited to continue serving the Pulsechain community. Additional contract checks, liquidity pools, and easier to understand results are still underway. So they're still enhancing the system for you guys to help you with security checks on token contracts, project contracts, things like that. So it really is a big utility for security. And I know many of you often ask that. You go, is this safe? Is that safe? Well, this is one place you could go to get a bit more confidence about things like that. So it really is cool. I'll post the link to this and give them a follow as well. VerifyPulse a follow. If you haven't followed them, well worth doing because important around that security stuff, right? Once again, they're in our Discord under useful links, under project links. I think they're on project links, actually. We've got two main information things in Discord, useful links, where you'll get useful stuff around Pulsechain, Hex, and of course PulseX, and you'll get useful stuff around the onboarding, like on-chain swaps, cross-chain swaps, bridges, things like that. But then we also have the project links with all the projects in there, including the Pulse Police, and of course VerifyPulse, I think, is in there too. So very cool. All right, so that is the link there to VerifyPulse. Give them a follow as well. I'm sure that will, it's a win-win, isn't it, to follow as well. They got 350 followers, so you can definitely get a lot more. So give them a look there And of course, if you go to the Verify Pulse site, this is what it looks like, verifypulse.com, and you can put the contracted token address in there, and they'll give you a nice little checkup of that and show you how good it is or not. So let's quickly check. Let's go check up that one from Access Alive. Let's go check Access Alive's one. Don't tell them we're checking it, but we're going to go check it. Here we go. Let's go check it, and we're going to Verify Pulse, and we'll plop that in there and see what it says. See what it says about it. Let's have a look there. Bam. Presumably it's loaded in there. Access Alive. Yes. Okay. So what it's saying, the token is currently sellable. That's true. Buy fee is less than 5%. Yep, that's 0. Sell fee is less than 5%. 0. Contract analysis. So this is stuff that you really might want to get into there. It's a verified contract. The contract has been verified. Ownership has been renounced, so that's good news. And the code does not contain an owner in it, so it doesn't have an owner transfer function, any dodgy thing like that we've seen be used before. Liquidity analysis, adequate liquidity, and of course, at least 95% of liquidity burned or locked for at least 30 days is 0. So it gives you a bit of information there. But these two things, ownership's renounced and verified contract, cool, important things to know. So you can do that, run through different contracts on there for that. So pretty cool. Also add a token up there as well, and it's also they've got a token ranking site as well where you can vote up a token. I don't know what Pulse Serial's doing up there, but somehow they've got up there. Who knows? But Pulse Reflections is in there. Spark Swap, lots of different ones that people have been voting for as well. So you can play around there if you enjoy that sort of stuff. So that is Pulse Verify, looking good. That brings us into Fame. I want to talk about Fame. As you guys know, we've been tracking this Fame. Now I've done a little something here to the trade on the Fame. So you have to bear with me on that. But I closed out the long position that we had, and I've increased it. we had about a 4x or 5x. I've actually increased it. We were in the money before the live stream. We're just slightly under the money at the moment, but we've gone from about a 4x or 5x. I think I had a 5x. We've gone to just under 10x there at the moment, so that means I've increased the position. We had $11 if you remember, and of course we were sitting at about $50 on our size position, but we're now at $105 on the size. So I thought, why not? I did it on the retrace here, so we'll see how we go. And there wasn't much liquidity, so I took out whatever liquidity was there. And it looks like there's quite a bit of liquidity back in there now, 87,000. But anyway, we're going to continue to watch that as well and see how we get on. All right, let's jump over to some of the stats on this as well, because it has been performing very well, the old famous. So we got $1.7 million in open interest. As you guys know, open interest is the total of the shorts and the longs. People who are shorting think the price is going to go down. People that are going long think the price is going to go up. We got a nice little increase in users there, 582. The PHL people, this is the liquidity that people provide, and they earn 60% of the fees and any of the net losses or gains from the traders. And of course, they give you the traders the ability to borrow that money and take their positions open. We've had 19 million in total volume so far. And it hasn't been that many days, has it? Hasn't been that many days. Let's quickly go back and have a look at the famous token and see how that's performing. Let's just scroll down there. Fame there. The Fame at 50 cents. So it's gained a little bit more value over the last couple of days. And so that's kind of good news for Fame. There we are, ticking up there. How many days has it been going? It's not many. What's that, about 17, 18 days? So pretty good results, right? 19 million. That's pretty amazing. It's over $1 million a day in total volume. So doing pretty well is the old Fame there. And of course, they can lift limits as required. $87,800 in fees so far, looking pretty good. Let's go have a quick look at the positions at the moment. Overall, the market has accumulatively lost $8,200. So traders have lost $8,200 over this last 17 to 18 days. So that's pretty much it, $8,000. So that gets added to the PHLP pool. So the PHLP pool is winning. They're winning. They're getting 6% of fees plus they're getting this accumulative profits as well. So they're laughing themselves all the way to the bank, and the traders get to do their positioning. So that's pretty much it. Let's have a look at the open interest at the moment. So 1.3 million out of the 1.7 million is longs. These are people expecting the price to go up. And then 383,000 are people that are short. They're expecting the price to go down on particular assets. So that's pretty much it at the moment. Yeah, I think that's kind of the highlights there. All right, that's pretty cool. Let's have a quick look at some of the other metrics. If you want to earn there, of course, you can stake your fame. At the moment, 53% of fame is staked at the moment. The APR is jumped up all the way up to 8.24% from 2%. So that's good news. We didn't know that it had to take a little while to find out what the actual APR is ticking away there. Looking good. The PHLP, those people providing liquidity, the APR at the moment is 52.7%, which is fantastic for this kind of protocol. And so far, so good, right? On that front, and they're winning, winning, and the house is winning, as it were. So good news there. So some pretty interesting things happening with the old pool there. The fees today in the last 24 hours, $16,000 in fees. Woo! That's some good fees there, ticking away, man. If it earns that every single day, my goodness gracious me, that's fantastic. Almost $90,000 in fees in total as well. So pretty good there at the moment. But the other cool thing is that utilization was yesterday. It was almost 100% on all the longs. So at the moment, it's 87% on Pulse. So there's a bit of Pulse there to be borrowed by traders. 99% of PulseX is fully maxed out. So the longs have gone full hardcore on PulseX. 93% on Pulse Hex. So there's a bit of room there. Pretty crazy stuff, right? Now, in terms of the shorts, a DAI is down 62% and a USD Tether there down 66%. So the shorts there not fully taken out the amount of liquidity that's sitting there at the moment. So pretty interesting numbers coming out of the old famous there as well. So kind of cool. And obviously people going long, people are more bullish on the price going up, right? That's kind of a good thing about sentiment, I guess. Now they can be wrong, of course, but and definitely the last 2 days have said, it's coming back there. But some of these positions would have opened up at the bottom of that move. But yeah, a lot of them were already in there. So they're obviously, hopefully, if they haven't got too much leverage, they're probably going to be around for a while in terms of that. So they just got to pay the borrowing costs every day. I think I worked out that probably $1,000 in borrowing is probably around about $2 a day in interest costs approximately. So you can confirm that yourself, but it's about that if you're borrowing. So you got to have your opening and close fees, but then you got to also borrow, and the borrow goes every single day. So if the price goes against you and you've got the position open for days and days, the borrowing costs can add against you. Obviously, if you're in good profit, then maybe not too worried about the borrowing costs because you're making so much more on the upside. So some interesting stuff happening there with famous and margin trading. The most speculative aspect, I guess, to some of the top protocols that we will have as well, blue chip. That leads us into Mintra. Mintra, the big NFT marketplace. Last night on our final testnet deployment went live. Woohoo! So we're going to have 6 big NFT marketplaces, probably 7 at least in total. But Mintra is one of the 2 big last ones to launch. Mintra and, of course, Pixel Park from Power City. Last night, our final testnet deployment went live. New features, massive updates, the key final step closer to Pulsechain mainnet. And of course, Mintra, I think, is going to be one of the most attractive NFT marketplaces out there. It is really looks really amazing, and of course that is now on testnet v2, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, Mintra latest news. So you can find that on Mintra on testnet, and of course you can connect your wallet up there to play around. If you wanted to play around here, really cool. You can explore, of course. They have lots of extra features here. You can mint your own tokens, stuff like that. You can stake mint token, all that sort of stuff. Huge sacrifice project too as well. So are going to be really cool on this one. So definitely pretty good. Not sure if I'm actually let me see my own Pulsechain. Let me have a look here. I've got to switch networks here. I've got to go testnet v4. You got to be on testnet v4 if you want to find the details of testnet v4. You can do that in our Discord under useful links. We have all of the links for all the Pulsechain testnet v4 information under useful links. So really cool place to go. All right, you can create in here. You can go to the launch pad. You can launch your own NFT collection. If you have some creative ideas, you can do that, obviously, on Mintra. You've got the dashboard, of course, for deploying your collection. So this is going to be pretty popular, I think. And, of course, exploring, you've got sales listings, and you can go check what's on sale. Obviously, a lot of the popular NFTs will be in there. GameFi, DeFi, whatever. It's all going to be there, so it's pretty cool. There's lots of good stuff on the site. I think this site is really nice, very clean. And I like the use of green. Green's a bit different, too. Participate in NFT drops, stuff like that's going to be there, looking pretty good. What else? Collections. You can find your favorite collections. Pretty major one there. You can see a lot of the NFT collections out now. A lot of the GameFi, DeFi. What else? You got the mint token for staking. So if you've done the sacrifice, you can stake your mints and start earning from the fees and all that sort of stuff. You can also the burn mint as well. What else? You've got lots of stuff. Learn new contract addresses, blogs, FAQ, analytics. These guys have thought of it all. There's the analytics page, looking pretty good. And there's more as well. New request and request leadership board. So there's lots of stuff. So looking good is the old Mintra. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll post the link to that too and give that a check out. I'm going to have to put that in the Discord as well because I've got to put that one in there. And bam. Let's paste that out there. How we're doing for time? 51 minutes. We're doing very well on our time today. Let's see. That is bam. There's the link there. I don't know why the last one there took a while. So that's the Mintra there. Give them a follow. Give them a like. Give them a bit of love. And of course, if you sacrifice for Mintra, you'll be very keen on their launch. And they're getting very close. Final testnet deployment went live. So that's great news there as well. That jumps us on into Pulse Domains. Pulse Domains here, the Pulsechain name service. Now, everyone likes to name their accounts. No, they don't, but some people do. Some people like to name their accounts. PLS domains will be on Pulsechain, and now they are on the Mintra testnet at the moment. So if you're playing on the testnet for Mintra NFT marketplace, you'll be able to play around with the Pulse domains as well. And of course, you can see, click on the link there, and it'll take you to the collection on Mintra, which we were just on. And you can see a lot of people's names there. Look at that. Richard Hurt, PLS, 99999.pls. So cool PLS names. Going to be very important for Pulsechain. So this is a really great utility as well. Obviously, a lot of people like naming their wallets and getting those on there. So pretty cool. You can see lots of those. So it's going to be pretty popular. We know that certain part of the market love to have those sort of addresses, names. So it's pretty cool. On a Pulse Domains, I'll leave a link to that as well if you guys want to check it out. And that is cool. That make getting pretty close. Let me paste that in there as well. You can check that out. So lots of links to that. Told you there was going to be quite a few project updates. And why not? Why not? Why not? We say Pulse Domains. Pulsechain is growing, and we are documenting it. So there we go. There's Pulse Domains, and you can go to the top of that. You see Pulse Domains, your Web3 username on Pulsechain. Beta out now, preparing to launch on Pulsechain. Very cool. All right, and you can go to pulse.domains at the top there, and you can go to the site there, tell you all about it, and get your name. And you can mainnet name claim. So if you want to claim a name, and you can go to the app, of course, and connect there. It's not on mainnet yet, right? It's on testnet, but you can do that. Let me have a look here. Bam. Oh, it's jumping over there. So that's kind of cool. We've named that. So they're going to be launching on mainnet soon. Very cool. All right. You can find lots of details on their website. Well, that is that. Should we move on? We should. Let's get on into Hex, of course. Let's move on to Hex. And of course, here we are. Maximus base is out. So we're on the round number 2. And of course, there's 6 days left to join the Maximus base Hex stake. If that's something that suits you, then it's definitely something you should do. Bigger, you're going to get a bigger pays bigger bonus. That's a bit of a tongue twister there. Bigger, better pays bigger bonus. That's pretty. Try and say that a couple of times. Bonus that you would get on your own. Most people won't pay start or end stake fees. We saw someone trigger that for round 1. Was it earlier today or yesterday or something? No hard time lock. Trade your base at any time, so you get the ownership token of base. So you're staking Hex, but you get the base ownership token. You can trade that around depending on liquidity. Earn yield on yield with diamond hands, so you can get even more yield. So you get pretty low gas fees to 0 gas fees. You earn yield on that with diamond hands if you stake it. Stake the base token, the ownership token, you get diamond hands as well benefits, which just top up that benefit that you get in the underlying X contract, plus the bigger base better bonus, right? So if they get 150 million in there, that would be bullish because you get 10%, up to 10% more bonus on the bigger pays better bonus. So we'll see how they get on with that. The original one for year 1 was 100 million. We'll see how they get on with year 2. 6 days to go on that. Perpetuals Maximus.cash. So some people were asking me in Discord yesterday, how do you do that? Well, if you've got Hex, you need Hex, obviously. You can connect up. I'm going to have to switch over here. You read all the fine print. read all fine print if you want, at least on that one. You can actually do it. When the first year they did it, you could only do it on Ethereum, right? But since Ethereum's since that time, Pulsechain has launched, and people got a copy of their base on Pulsechain. So now you can buy Hex on Pulsechain or Ethereum, and then mint yourself some base token to get these benefits, right? And of course, you can do that on Pulsechain and Ethereum. So you have to choose which one. There's also Ethereum Power and Ethereum Fear as well. So they're still around. But of course, most of you will be on Ethereum and Pulsechain. But if you are on ETH Power or ETH Fear, you can pick those chains as well, 4 chains. But just keep it simple, Pulsechain or Ethereum. Let's choose Pulsechain since we're on Pulsechain. And we're going to switch over to the mainnet now. And so if you get Hex on Pulsechain, all you have to do is close to the mint page. And you need to read the fine print. You need to read the fine print, right? Maximus base is a perpetual pool token, fully backed by a 1-year Hex stake that repeats forever. Obviously, there's a redemption phase at the end of the 369-day phase, so it's just over a year. 21-day initial minting redemption phase, which is on now. That's on now. You got 6 days to go. By 369-day stake that repeats forever with 7th May. So you can, if you don't do anything in 369 days, it will just roll over again, right? So just remember that. But at the moment, you've got a chance to issue some base. Right now, we're in that issuance phase or redemption phase if you want to redeem your base token. Initial minting rate is 1 base per 1 Hex pledge. But after the first stake ends, which it has just recently, the minting rate is adjusted to reflect the Hex earnings that the base stake earned during that time. Remember that. And that rate now is at 0.89. So you're at 0.89 base per Hex pledged because the amount of Hex has been accumulated in there. During minting redemption phases, you can redeem your base for the amount of Hex designated by the redemption rate. Remember that. So that's what you get back if you are redeeming. So what you do is put your Hex in there. Let's say you had, let's say you had 100,000 Hex. You put your Hex in there and you have to approve the Hex spend, and then you can mint. So there's 2 steps. Approve your Hex spend. In other words, allow the protocol to take that amount of Hex out of your wallet. And then, of course, the second phase is to mint the base. So it's actually going to deduct it and give you some base, and you get base. And, of course, you click the bottom at the bottom there, the button at the bottom, add base to MetaMask, and you will see the base inside your wallet. So that's how you get base. And you can just hold it. You can do nothing. You got the underlying Hex stake in there. You're going to get all the benefits potentially. But, of course, if you want to do more, you can go to Diamond Hands, and you can stake your base. And potentially earn even more rewards. So stake base and earn rewards. So not only in the normal mint, you're going to get all the benefits from Hex, but on the Diamond Hands, you're going to earn an extra reward there. Diamond Hands, Maximus Diamond Hands lets you time lock your perpetual pool tokens and amplifies your earnings in your if you remain locked until the stake ends. That's very important. So just remember to read the fine print here before you decide to stake. Remember, you can just hold it liquid. But if you want to earn that a bit extra rewards, then you can do that here. Now, if you do unlock before the base stake ends, you will experience a 20% penalty. So just remember that. There's a pretty decent penalty there. So just remember. So read all the fine print there. And, you can earn some extra bonuses in there. So where do the stake rewards come from? 20% early unlock penalty. So other people that do early in stake, and that penalty will go to you as a benefit. Any other mysterious sources that choose to send supported reward tokens to reward bucket contract. Perhaps Maximus team members may send some team or Maxi to reward bucket to incentivize participation in the pool. So that's kind of the idea there. And all you have to do is put your base that you minted out in here. Let's say that we minted out, I don't know, let's say 100,000 again. Let's just do it for easiness. Then, of course, you will be able to approve that base and then stake the base. And there you are. That's it. And you just have to come back in like 369 days and during the next redemption phase or whatever it is. So pretty easy there. All right. That is stake period 2, by the way, just so you know. If you are redeeming base, then you just go to here, put your base in, and it will just read your wallet, and you can redeem your Hex out of that base with your rewards, which is pretty cool. There's the dashboard, of course, shows you the amount of base, etc. Shows you the starting date, or I think it's the existing one, isn't it? Yeah, there's the existing one, I think. So they'll all be refreshed and stuff like that. And what I do suggest is you follow Dipcatcher as well on those details. All right. Hope that helps. That is a base, and of course that gets us into hex.com, and we're going to talk about the Hex data stats. Before we do that, we've got the stats out already, day 1401. and day was it take 4901. What are we on day 145? I think we're on 145. Let me double check. Pulsechain 145. Yeah, so I think we just finished day 145. I think it is, or day 144. And I'm a little lost now, but I think it was one of those. We'll get back into that in a second. Let's see who else has jumped in the chat. That is a pretty awesome round of news today, I must say. We got up to Light Scout. We got Archie in the house there. Hi all, good to see you, Archie. Brennan says Vela's up and to the right. Yeah, doing amazing. The Vela's over 44,000 now. Pretty incredible. We got Matt and Bali in the house there. Howdy all, good to see you, Matt. Pump it up, Superman says Matt. We're doing our best. We're doing our best here. What else? Lies Beneath says careful with the infamous LLL triangle, says the Lies Beneath. That's funny. What else? We got Christian in the house there. Hello, familiar. DGN Power. Yeah, Christian is crushing the DGN at the moment. Diamond hands. Yeah, got to get those diamond hand bonuses. The lower the base, the higher in space, says Brennan. Christian says not financial advice, but I'm not ending my base stake. I'm going to leave it running till next year. So that will be a second year of the base, or round 2. I claim my extra base and team, says Brennan, in the DH pool, Diamond Hand pool. I claim my extra base and team. Nice one there, Brennan. Well done. Congratulations to you. What was the total base being staked for the second round, Super? I do not know the number for that. Was that on the list? I don't think that was on that that diagram. I think Dipcatcher did put something out around that. Let me quickly check and see where they can find that. I'm not sure what the because we don't know what the total will be by the end, right? Still got 6 days to go. So I'm not sure whether we know. So let's have a quick look, see if Maximus has put anything out like that. I don't know if Dipcatcher might have said something. This is some interesting stuff here. Let's have a quick look at that. I'll get rid of hide that comment there. Dipcat says thanks to Hex Payday, graciously in staking the stake. So it was this person did the in stake for everybody for the base. Hex Payday. Base users experienced 100% gas fee savings for the stake. That's round 1, right? Which just finished. True gas fee Hex staking. Just a few days left to join the round 2 base. Stake any chain. What will Hex price be in 369 days? So there we are on that one. Did I paste the link to that? I don't know if I Perpetuals Maximus.cash. We got the links in the main chat group in Discord, so you can get access to that. But in any case, I will post you the list. Did I post that? I don't know if I did, but we'll post it now. Did I post that? No, I didn't. So that is the, if you want to do a base stake, that is the link there. Correct. Still 6 days until official number. Yeah, still there. But I think we did get I think we've got a leading number there from Dipcatcher. I just thought, I think I have seen something like that. I've been sort of following it just to see what's coming out there. This was 9 hours ago. There are currently 1,100 base holders. That means that the gas fee consumption per stake was 99.9%. If you're going to stake Hex for any time between a few days or 2 years, joining Baseball is a good solution for you. What else there? After 24 hours, this is on the 3rd of October. This is pretty fresh. After the first 24 hours, there was 38.8 million Hex withdrawn from eBase. So that's based on Ethereum, and 8.9 million Hex deposited. So obviously there was more withdrawn than deposited, but we've still got 6 days to go. So, you don't know what people are going to do by the time we get finished there. Obviously, people taking it out suggest that they're not going back in, but they may do, right? Similar numbers for P-Base, that's based on Pulsechain. Makes sense that the people who have been waiting to redeem and sell their Hex were eager to do so, but it seems to be bottoming out. 168 hours remain to mint. So that gives you, that's kind of an answer to your question there, Brennan. All right. So yeah, I would just, if you are looking at base and maybe you've still got, 5 days to go before you have to do it, or 6 days, then just keep a tab on Dipcatcher and any info that he's bringing out there. I think that's a good way of keeping track of, helping you to make a decision whether you want to go into base or not. Remember, it does have the bigger base bonus, better bonus upside, the gas price upside, and potentially diamond hands if you're going to do diamond hand staking. That's kind of the main reason why you would do it. So it's giving you a bit more extra oomph than, say, solo staking as well. You used to also have the base token. If it's not staked in diamond hands, you can trade that. if you want to trade out of your staking position. That's one way you can do it too, just subject to liquidity. I think that's it. Cool. I think we've covered that in pretty full. Let's go back to the Hex daily stats there for Ethereum. Hex on Ethereum, hex.com. Check it out. You can stake directly, like what we're talking about here. But day 1401, the 3rd of October, we got the price there at 0.3 of a penny, down 2.7%. The Hex payout per T-share is 6.679, which is pretty good. And the share rate is a dot day. So we had 4 dot days in a row. In fact, we've had quite a few in the last 10 days, which is pretty amazing. But remember, the 22nd of November, this is going to jump by 1,400 Hex per T-share. It's going to be a big jump. By the end of the year, we're expecting the T-share rate to be here. At the moment, it's 29,618. We're expecting it to be about 32,500 by the end of the year. Remember that. So that's a huge difference from now. In other words, earlier pays better getting your T-shares now, because you'll need less Hex in the future. You'll need that much more Hex, another 10% or so more Hex per T-share. So it's a big deal. Average mining length there, 7.1 years. The APY is 39.43% for existing T-share miners. We've got the ownership pool. Remember, Hex is really easy to understand. We're a reward pool and an ownership pool. And the ownership pool has T-shares in it, stands for trillions of shares. We've got 10,953 T-shares in the has gone increased in the T-shares after having quite a few down days. We're sitting at 9,775,000 T-shares in the ownership pool at the moment. Let's go to the reward pool. 9.29% of Hex is locked at the moment on the old Ethereum. We had 921,000 Hex penalties today, so not bad day. And that reward pool I was talking about has 65,291,000 Hex in it. That's going to get paid out to those T-share miners in the ownership pool. Growth in the numbers, we're down 15 liquid holders, and of course we see that in the price rate. Price being down 330,000 current liquid holders here, but the miner numbers are actually up too. We're at 119,981 current miners on the ETH chain, which brings us to day, was it day 145? I think it's 145. Is that 1,400 day 145 on Pulsechain, the 3rd of October. The price is just under 0.8 of a penny there. The payout pretty similar to eHex, 6.683 Hex per T-share, but we've got a increase in the share rate there, 13 Hex per T-share. We're sitting at 29,620. The average mining length is shorter on the old Pulsechain, 6.96 years, with the APY for existing T-share miners on Pulsechain at 38.63%. The ownership pool has gone up by 5,300 T-shares. They're sitting at 9,812,000 T-shares there. So there's a bit more T-shares on the Pulsechain side. Not surprising there. And of course, let's jump over to the right. Lock percentage of coins, 9.52% of all Hex is locked on the old Pulsechain. 1.5 million in penalties today, so a pretty good day in penalties. These are people that don't keep their responsibilities when they're mining, and of course that goes to you who are still mining. And of course the reward pool's got 65.6 million Hex in it today. Yesterday, look at the last couple of days, 67. It's been pretty amazing. So really cool. The change in the growth numbers, we're up 81 liquid holders, but we are down 34 miners today, sitting at 124,220 miners. So what's that? About 4,300 more miners on the old Pulsechain than there is on Ethereum. That's the results. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We're on day 1,402, and I think we're on day 146 now. I think that's right. Other than that, we'll start day 145. Don't want to get confused, but that's kind of where we are. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That is pretty much the update for today. What a packed day it was. And we're only getting warmed up for October, or as we like to say, Uptober. October is still on the playbook, especially for Pulsechain, right? So it's going to be fun. Let's see who else is in here. We got the Brennan says, cheers, you're welcome. Bigger pays better, needs to hit 150 a year. So the more people that go into the base, the more that gets up to that 150 million, the more of the 10% bonus, the bigger pays better that people will get. So yeah, obviously if there's maybe, let's say 50 million goes in, like first round was 100 million, let's say 50 million goes in this time, then obviously that's only going to be what, 3.3% or something like that of the bonus, something like that, as opposed to 10% for the bigger pays better. Ivor sits in house there. Hi, all good to see you, Ivor. And we've got Brennan as well. Desi is the only perpetual to reach that at the moment out of the pooled stakes and is at a discount at the moment. Yep. So Deki is the 10-year perpetual stake, and that's still got 9 years to go, or just under 9 years to go. Is it 5%? Is it 5% bonus? Is Brennan? There we are. All right. Cool. Very nice. That's pretty much it. I think we've pretty much wrapped up. I think so. Now in 10 minutes, pretty good. Hope you guys enjoy your day. Don't forget to join the Discord. The link is in the video description. Join up. And of course, what else? Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button if you're on Superman Crypto. If you're on Pulsechain YouTube or Hex Token channel, definitely smash the subscribe button. Hit the bell. Hit the like video. And come back every day. We're doing Pulsechain updates. We're documenting Pulsechain's growth. And we've got so much exciting stuff. It is the most exciting chain out there. And of course, we have a huge amount of devs that are rolling out really top protocols. And we're having a good time watching it happen. And we're currently, day 145, 146. I've got to double check that before I start the live stream. But that's kind of where we are at the moment. Right. Let's wrap up here. And that is the Discord. Yeah, join up. There it is. That's the link. Discord there. Take care, says Lies Beneath. You too. All right, let's wrap out here and play a video. What should we do? We'll play a cool dance video. I'll get some more videos on dancing, but we'll leave it at that. Or music. We'll get music videos. What else there? Let's play out. Actually, let's play something Wise Words from Richard. Wise Words from Richard, shall we? I'm trying to find. I got to make sure my library gets in better shape here because I haven't. Actually, let's play this. Oh no, let's leave that one. I'm getting a decision now. That's the worst thing you can do. Let's play out. Let's just play the rap. The rap's cool. Bye now. Peace out.
Here in my $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all Prada, 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 Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada, 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 Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.
Yeah.